You ever worry about your memory, or maybe watch someone you love start to forget things? Well, in his book, Memory Rescue, Dr. Daniel Amen argues that we have way more power than we think to protect our own minds. And for one person, that whole journey started with a single, absolutely devastating question. Just imagine this for a second. Abe's grandfather was this incredibly sharp, vibrant guy. I mean, he remembered everything: birthdays, old stories, you name it. But after he turned 70, things started to change. Small stuff at first, like where he put his keys. Then one day, he looked right at his own grandson, Abe, and asked him, "Who are you?" I mean, can you even imagine? That one question just completely shattered Abe's world. It sent him on this desperate hunt for answers, and he was just haunted by this one terrifying thought: is this going to happen to me too? So Abe finds his answers in Dr. Amen's book, and literally the first page was a total bombshell. Dr. Amen reveals that major memory loss, it isn't some sudden accident. It's not just getting old. No, it's a slow, quiet process that actually begins decades earlier. Okay, check out this timeline from Dr. Amen's research. It is startling. The choices you and I are making today, well, they're shaping our brain health 30 to 40 years from now. For Abai, who was 32, this was a massive wake-up call. The most important time to protect his future memory wasn't way off in the distance, it was happening right now. So what are these choices that have such a huge impact? Well, Dr. Amen developed this incredible framework to help us identify the 11 biggest risk factors that damage our brains over time. He calls it Bright Minds. The best way to think about Bright Minds is like a roadmap. It's a map to understanding all the threats to your brain. Each letter stands for a specific enemy that we really need to watch out for. So let's just quickly walk through these. B is for blood flow, super important because without it, our brain just starves. R is for retirement and aging, a time when we can sometimes stop learning new things. I is inflammation, kind of like a silent fire in your body. G is genetics, and we're going to come right back to that one. H is head trauma. T is for toxins, from pollution to bad habits. Then you've got M for mental health, because stress literally wrecks brain cells. I for immunity issues. N for neurohormones, our chemical messengers. D is for diabesity. That's Dr. Amen's word for the destructive pair of diabetes and obesity. And last but not least, S is for sleep. Now, you probably saw genetics on that list and felt your stomach drop a little, right? Like, oh great, I'm doomed. But Dr. Amen makes this absolutely crucial point. Our genes are not our destiny. Think of it this way. They might create a predisposition, but it's our daily habits, our lifestyle, that actually pulls the trigger. So as Abe went through this list, he had this uh-oh moment. He wasn't exercising, he was eating a lot of junk food, his sleep was a mess, he drank sometimes, he had chronic stress, and he was a bit overweight. He counted them up: 6. 6 out of the 11 risk factors were part of his life, and he was only 32. It's a sobering exercise, right? How many of those are hitting home for you? But here's the really good news. These are risk factors, not a life sentence. And Dr. Amen's rescue plan starts with the most fundamental thing for healthy brain: blood flow. And trust me, you'll be amazed at just how critical this really is. Okay, get this. This fact is just staggering. Our brain is only about 2% of our body's weight, but it greedily hogs 20% of our blood flow. It is an incredibly demanding organ. So when that supply gets reduced, whether it's from not exercising or smoking or stress, our brain cells literally begin to starve. So how do we fix it? How do we improve that blood flow? It's simple. Exercise. Getting your body moving releases this powerful chemical called BDNF. And Dr. Amen's description is just perfect. He calls it Miracle Grow for the brain. Because that's literally what it does. It helps you build new brain cells and makes the connections between them stronger. And hey, this isn't just a theory, it is proven. In one incredible study, a group of seniors walked for just 40 minutes 3 times a week. After 1 year, the memory center of their brains, the hippocampus, had physically grown by 2%. Meanwhile, the group that didn't walk, their brains shrunk, which is normal for that age. They literally reversed brain aging with a simple walk. So beyond getting that blood pumping, the next 2 huge pillars of the memory rescue plan are the nightly maintenance crew we call sleep and the actual building blocks we get from the food we eat. This is one of the most fascinating discoveries in all of neuroscience. While we're asleep, our brain isn't just offline, it's actively cleaning itself out. It has its own dedicated waste disposal system.
Okay, so here's how it works. This glymphatic system only really kicks into high gear when we're in deep sleep, and its job is to flush out all this metabolic junk, including a toxic protein called amyloid beta. Now, you need to remember that name. Why? Because it is the exact same protein that builds up into those destructive plaques they find in the brains of Alzheimer's patients.
So here's the bottom line. Every single night you skimp on sleep, you are stopping this essential cleaning process from happening. You are literally letting toxins build up in your brain. Dr. Amen says 7 to 9 hours a night is totally non-negotiable for your long-term brain health.
And look, what you eat literally becomes your brain. I mean, our brain is about 60% fat, so it desperately needs healthy fats like omega-3s from fish. It needs antioxidants from things like blueberries and all the good stuff from leafy greens. On the other side of the coin, sugar is public enemy number one. Studies have shown that a high sugar diet can literally shrink the hippocampus. It shrinks your brain's memory center.
Okay, so we've covered the physical maintenance, the hardware, right? But what about the software? Well, it turns out we have this incredible power to change our brain's structure and function just through our thoughts and our actions.
And this is the science of hope. It's called neuroplasticity. It just means your brain is not fixed. It's not set in stone. It's constantly remodeling itself based on what you do and what you experience. And this ability, it doesn't just go away as you get older. You can build a better brain at any point in your life.
So, how do you do it? You challenge yourself. Learn a new language, try meditating, or even do something as simple as taking a different route home from work. All of it forces your brain to build new pathways. There was this famous study of nuns that proved it. The most intellectually active nuns, they showed way fewer symptoms of Alzheimer's, even when autopsies showed their brains actually had the disease. They had built so many alternate mental roads, a cognitive reserve, that their brains could just work around the damage. Isn't that incredible? Okay, I know. This is a lot of information. It can feel overwhelming, but the key isn't to do everything perfectly all at once. It's just to start. After reading all this, Abe knew he couldn't wait. He had to create his day one. He just opened his diary and wrote this really simple plan. Look, it wasn't about completely changing his entire life overnight. It was about taking the first, totally manageable step in each of those key areas. A 30-minute walk, no sugar today, 10 minutes of meditation. This is what starting looks like. And this, right here, might be the most encouraging takeaway from the entire book. Don't aim for perfection, because you'll just burn out. Aim for consistency. Doing the right things most of the time is what really, truly creates lasting change for your brain. Abi started his journey to rescue his memory, all inspired by the love he had for his grandfather and a promise he made to himself. So I'll just leave you with this question. What one small thing will you do for your brain today? What's going to be on your day one list?